Hello, welcome back to the Sewing Circle. Today I am in my new space. This is the new studio we are in progress of getting ready for me to move into with my sewing. So I had to come out here and video today and show you. We just painted the walls. They're fresh and shiny and new. And I'm working on getting everything organized out here so that I can move my sewing studio out here. And I have so many dreams for this space. I have been in my little trailer for sewing for the past 2 years since I started this channel, September 2024. And now here we are in March of 2026, and this space is ready for me to move into. Now, this was the boys' room. We called it the man cave. When Augie and I first got married, we have a blended family, 12 of our children blended together here out of our 17. Now, the boys, we had a bunch of teenage boys. The boys lived out here. Later, as the boys left home, the girls lived out here. This has recently been a guest room because we still had children living in the home. And for a while, we had our youngest daughter out here. She just moved out, and we are ready for me to take over. Wow. So welcome to the sewing studio. I want to show you around a little bit. Of course, everything's just sitting here. We are not moved in. We just got the walls painted. We have some beautiful fresh windows. I have my file case that I'm going to be putting all my patterns into. I chose this really almost light pinkish peach tan, I don't know, beige, pinkish beige, and then this milk cream white. And yeah, this is just going to be fantastic. It's a huge space. I don't even know if you can really take it all in. This side, you can see we are still working on some of the junk. But I want to show you too, because this place has a full bathroom. So let's go look at the bathroom. This is the bathroom. Hi guys! So this space is just going to be fantastic for me to set up in and make my whole sewing studio. Before we get started on anything else, I want to tell you we have a giveaway. And oh my goodness, my live video 2 weeks ago, I was supposed to be doing a giveaway during my live. You know what happened? Everything happened and went wrong. And so I wasn't able to give my giveaway during the live. But for those of you who answered the question, when and where did you learn how to sew? Who taught you how to sew? I put you into the giveaway, and we have 3 winners. So let's go spin the wheel for those 3 winners. Okay, guys, this is the giveaway from my live video that was published 2 weeks ago, and these are the people who responded to the question, when did you learn to sew, or responded in the chat. So I went back to the live. I had a lot of technical difficulty, and these are the people that I was able to find. If for some reason I've missed you, please message me at leslierosesews@gmail.com and let me know. Okay, so for the first drawing, we're going to do this McCall's 7356. Had planned to give this away during the live, and if you were there, you know that I had some technical difficulties. So we're going to shuffle this 3 times, shuffle the names, and then spin. Good luck, you guys. And the winner is Katie Moulton. Congratulations, Katie Moulton. You're the winner of this lovely pattern blouse. Reach out to me at leslierosesews@gmail.com, and I will be sending you this. This next drawing is for the dragonfly pattern, and it comes with the scissors, needles, and needle threader. So let's go ahead and shuffle the names, and then we're going to spin. Good luck, you guys. Congratulations, Zazama. You are a winner. And the next drawing is for the McCalls, 7616. We are going to shuffle and spin. Good luck, you guys. We have a winner. Lori Justice 4037. Congratulations. Yay! Thank you guys for participating. Congratulations, Katie, Zaza, and Lori. Please reach out to me at leslierosasews@gmail.com and I will be sending you your packages this week. I'm so excited. Thank you all for joining in and thank you for being with me on my live. That was so much fun. Now, during the live, we were working on this upcycle, this beautiful velvet blouse I fell in love with at the thrift shop. And I decided that I wanted to do an upcycle with it. And I wanted to share it with you because an upcycle can be very simple. If you have basic sewing skills, you can turn something like this into a real cute boho jacket. So as the spring weather is changing here and we're starting to warm up here in California, we have days where it's warm and then it gets cool. And I love to have something like this to throw over a tank top and just to keep you warm. Now, the beautiful thing is as you know, if you watch the live, I dyed some vintage laces with this lavender dye to match the top and the fabric on the top. Some of this is some doilies that I just cut apart out of a circle doily and turned it into lace. And of course, the back is the big showpiece that is a completely big doily that I top stitched on and then cut away the fabric behind. But let's go do that in the trailer. Okay, I am here in my sewing trailer and I have the upcycle that I was sharing on my live and I'm in the middle of working on it and wanted to show you. So I've pinned the lace to the cuffs of the sleeve. And if you weren't here for the live, this is lace and doily bits that I dyed to match this thrifted velvet button-up top. I have already sewn the lace to the button placket. I just laid it on the inside, pinned it, and then top stitched it so it looked nice and clean. I have pinned some of the lace bits to the very bottom of the top, and we're going to sew this, probably 2 lines of edging, one across the top and one across the bottom. There is this doily that I had talked about rolling up into a little rose for the pocket. It's cute, very cute. I'm not decided yet if I'm going to do that, or I did have the idea of kind of creating a little fan on the pocket where I would need to hand stitch this in. So we'll see about that. This is what I'm working with. But before we proceed with sewing on the other laces that I have pinned, I wanted to show you the back. As I had shown in my live, we had pinned this into place, this doily into place in the back. I went ahead and measured and got it squared up pretty nicely back here. And then I just have done a top stitch all the way around with a matching thread. And now I'm ready to cut away the shirt. And I saved this part because I thought it might be fun for you to join me as we cut this away. So let me get my scissors and let's go ahead and work on this. Now I have my sewing scissors inside the house and I'm out in my trailer. I've got a little messy stitching going on here. I had ripped out some stitching that had gone kind of wild and there's some little bit of residue here. Let's take that out. Let's slide back. I hope you can see in this lighting. So as you can see, there's the line of stitching and we're just going to take a scissors and we're going to separate the shirt from the doily and cut a little clip in. And then we're just going to leave a little seam allowance as we cut from the inside. Make sure we don't catch that doily. And we're just going to cut away. What's nice about adding a doily like this is that it creates a little extra space because the doily has some give. As you can see, there's some more stretch. So if your shirt is just slightly tight or you want it to just have a little more give, it's an awesome way to kind of upcycle a shirt that maybe is getting a little tight on you. This one I will probably use kind of as an over top to a tank top, or as the seasons change here in California, we get some beautiful sunny weather that can quickly become chilly or windy. So it's nice to have something to grab that's to throw on if you're just a little bit chilled, which my family knows I tend to run a little bit cold. Um, so this is going to be a great addition to my wardrobe. I love this color. I love the luxurious feeling of the velvets. And then when you couple it with the lace, it just gives kind of a vintage vibe. Sorry, I'm losing my mic. Got that back retrieved. We're almost done here. Let's get this cut out. And then we can look at this top with the velvet piece removed. So that's the back of the shirt, the inside, and this is what it's looking like now from the outside. You can see that this is going to be like a more of a see-through top in the back. You see that? Excuse me. So here's the sleeve, and it just gives a real boho-ish vibe. I'm excited. So let's go to the sewing machine and sew the lace on the cuffs. We're going to sew the lace on the bottom here, and then we're going to decide on the pocket. Now, we could just add a little piece of this lace on the pocket. I've got this little piece left. That's very cute. I like that little piece on there. If we did that, then we could potentially add this doily to this side and do another cutout kind of down low. I don't know though. I don't know if that's going to add to it or take away. Let's set this aside. This can be used for another project as well. I think we will go with this piece on the pocket like this. So let's pin that one in place. I picked up these Lori Holt pins. They're very much, they remind me of nails. They're very stiff. I usually love all of her products, but I don't love her pins. They're just a little bit too stiff for me. The trick with working inside the pocket will be catching everything inside of this little tiny space of the pocket. And on this project, I don't want to remove the pocket because of the fabric we're dealing with. And because it already has quite a fade on the edge of the pocket, I want to just leave it in place. Even if I have to hand tack this down, I'll probably do a little top stitching just to hold it in place. And I may need to hand tack it down or just take a kind of a tighter little stitch inside here. I have matching threads, so it should look fine when we're done. Let's go to the sewing machine. All right, the first thing we're going to do is sew that lace to the very bottom of the blouse. I always like to do just a little back stitching. Make sure everything's staying in place. And if you need to line things, just put your needle down and pop up your foot, get it back into place. As we come to the end of this front seam, I want to go ahead and turn under the edge of that lace so it just lays nice and clean and doesn't have a frayed out edge. And we want to back stitch. I'm going to see, let's check and see if we need another seam down the bottom or if this is just going to be perfect. I actually think that this is going to be beautiful. Once we trim our strings and threads, and isn't that lovely? So that's the bottom front. So let's repeat this on the other side. And once again, we're at the end of this seam and we're just tucking in that edge and matching it to the edge of the blouse. And continuing on to get that seam down. Oh, I want to make sure that my under pieces are tucked flat and pretty. Don't want to get a twist under there. And then we want to just make sure we're doing that reverse, holding it firmly. And that's it. We've got the lace on the bottom. Now we just have the sleeve cuffs. We're just going to apply these exactly the same way, seaming across the top. I already have those edges pinned under, and we're going to get these attached now. Okay, we have the sleeve cuffs all finished. Now we can show off our new top. Actually, we're gonna still want to sew on that little piece of the pocket, huh? Let's get that done. And then we can show it off. So for the pocket, I'm just gonna make sure I'm kind of rolling away the excess fabric from underneath so I'm not sewing the pocket shut. And just gonna put down our pressure foot and make sure that our needle is in the downward position when we stop to kind of hold things in place as we make sure all the fabric is out of the way underneath that pocket. Be very cautious if you're crossing pens like I am. Some machines do well on pens, some machines do not. Mine does fine most of the time. Every once in a while we hit a pen, but for the most part, it's a pretty good machine going over pens. But be careful if you have a machine that doesn't handle that well. Make sure you either slow down like this to go over a pen, or you go ahead and pull that pin out of place so you don't break a needle or damage your machine. There we go. We got that piece attached. Let's take out our pens and look at it. We have our lovely pocket. Just need to trim up the loose threads, and it's all attached and ready to wear. How exciting! Okay, let's update. I did some trimming of the threads, and as I was trimming, I made the decision to go ahead and run a second row of stitching along the bottom underneath the first row stitching of the pocket, just to make sure that this piece stays put, because it was a little bit kind of loosey-goosey looking, and because it comes as a scalp, I didn't want things flapping around too much in the wash and tearing off. So that's what I did with that pocket. Now, let's go try this on. I want to model it for you.